In the last section, we got our list of videos to render successfully, but we did get a big old warning here in the console. It says each child in an array should have a unique key prop. All right, so what's going on here? So as I said earlier, React is very clever about rendering lists, but sometimes it's a little bit too clever, you might say. Whenever we render an array of items of the same type, React correctly assumes that we're building a list. Like obviously it's an array, it's probably a list. React has a bunch of logic built into it to optimize the process of rendering a list. Imagine for a second that you had a big old stack of note cards, right? Just a big old stack. And you have some very important information updated on, or very important information printed on each of them. Now, picture that every 30 seconds, someone came to you and told you that a very particular card in the middle of the deck needed to have its information updated, but they didn't know exactly which card in the stack it was, right? They just said, some card in here, it needs to be updated. I don't know which one, but you really got to do it. You have to do it. Your only option for updating that your list of index cards would be to throw away the entire stack and recreate all of the index cards. If you don't know which one to update, you have to say, okay, I'll update it, but I'm really just going to have to recreate the entire list. I'm going to have to remake every index card. If you had an ID for each card, however, and the person telling you to update one said, hey, you know what, I need you to update the card with ID 5, the process would be much faster. You could just pull out the index card with ID 5, update some information, and then shuffle it back into the deck. So that's really what's happening under the hood with React when it's trying to render a list. It builds a list. If it has an ID for a particular element and that element changes, it knows which element it needs to go grab and update. Otherwise, it's going to throw them all away and re-render them all. Adding a key to a list is really straightforward, thankfully. It just needs to be a consistent and unique piece of information, unique to the particular record. A common strategy when rendering a list of data is to use the ID for the piece of data. So in our case, we have a video here, and you might be thinking, we don't really have any unique video or unique data about each record. Well, we kind of do. In the console here, I'm going to pull up the API response from YouTube. In the response here, you'll see that the items array, which is our actual list of videos, each video has an E tag, which is a unique identifier. You can see that it's a long string of characters. So if we use this E tag for each video as our key, that would be a sufficiently unique key for each element in our video items array. So to add a key, we just define it as a property. So we'll say key equals video.etag. So again, the key really, it doesn't need to be any special key, or it doesn't need to be, a number or anything, very specific. It just needs to be very consistent, one per record. So each video always has the same E tag. And so even if we re-render this component, it will have the same E tag again. It will have the same key again, which is the key. That was a pun. All right, so I'm going to save this. Let's go ahead and refresh the page. Got our console here, and you'll notice that the error went away because now we're providing a key for each element in our list. Fantastic. This looks pretty good, and I'll see you in the next section.